Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the chop saw a little bit and how to safely use it and some different methods of using it. So it is, considered a miter saw, or more commonly known as a chop saw. Its biggest priority is to cut across the grain. So if we look closely at this 2x4, we can see that the grain's running up and down. So across the grain would mean this way. So it's a cross-cutting device. Another form of the chop saw, why don't you come over here, is that we can do 45-degree cuts if we're doing trim work. So we can slide it, we look here, slide it, and it's going to lock at 45 degrees, so we can make a nice 90-degree angle on our trim work. Another capability it has is it'll go both ways. So you loosen this up, press the little thing down, and then it locks at 0. It locks at 15, 22.5, and 45. So, 15 and 22 are some other significant numbers when we talk about trim work, but we're not going to be worried about that. We're just going to worry about how to safely use it. So a couple things, hand placement, we always want to stay right here. This saw is really nice because it shows us a line where to keep it. So it's about, 9 inches from the blade, and I like to tell my students just do a foot to be safe. Another thing is if we're left-handed, so most of us are going to be right-handed, so we're going to have the extra material on our left. We're going to hold it here and cut with the right hand. If we're left-handed, we can't go like this. We can't cross our arms because it becomes dangerous. So we have to put the excess material on the right, hold it with the right hand, and then cut with our left hand. So we never want to cross our arms. So the biggest thing is stay 12 inches away from the blade. Not all of our chop saws at school are going to have the nice hand placement guides. There's a laser that we can turn on for some accurate cuts, or some somewhat accurate cuts. I just always prefer to use the blade because the blade's not going to lie, but the laser might. A couple things when we're actually using it. There's a safety button on our thumb, so we have to push the thumb in, and then the trigger will pull. The trigger won't pull without the button pushed on our thumb. We want to let it come up to a full speed before we cut it. But when we're cutting the wood, there's this fence back here, this flat metal fence. We have to make sure that the wood is all the way pressed up against the fence, and that we squeeze and hold the wood onto the fence to prevent a pinch and a kickback when we're using it. So I'll just go through and cut one quick as a demonstration. I'm going to cut off as little as possible because lumber is really pricey. So I have it tight to the fence. Right, and I also have my ear protection and eye protection. So I'm gonna cut it, hold it up to the fence. And then you'll notice how I let the saw stop before I picked it up. That prevents this little piece that I cut from getting kicked into the light and then flying all over the classroom, which we don't want. So you full speed, slowly bring it through the material, and then you let it stop before you pick the saw back up.